Well, hello, hello. My name is Miki Wright. I'm actually a salon pricing strategist with beautysuperstars.com, and I empower hairstylists to charge what they're worth. And I'm your host today, and I want to welcome you for Beauty Superstars Talk. It's your backstage pass to experts in beauty. So thank you so much for joining us. And each and every week, I actually have the privilege to interview Black beauty bosses who are doing amazing things in the beauty industry. We give voice to their stories and celebrate their excellence while they drop nuggets to help us become better beauty pros as well as better entrepreneurs. So, more than a podcast, this is actually a movement. It's actually to encourage Black excellence, entrepreneurship, to preserve our history, and actually to even bring healing to our industry. So before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor, the Black Beauty Expo, which is the hottest show for Black creative entrepreneurs in the hair, fashion, photography, modeling, and makeup industry. Their next show is Sunday, October 10th in Richmond, Virginia. So be sure to follow them. It's blackbeautyexpo.com. Or you can follow them on Instagram at Black Beauty Expo, and you can keep up with their latest news for the shows that are upcoming and tour, as well as special vendor packages. And in addition, I'm super excited to announce that I'm the Global Education Director for the Black Beauty Expo. So if you are interested in educating, please reach out to me. And if you are here for the first time, welcome. If you're coming back again, welcome back. This is actually the start of our second season, and we've done almost 60 amazing interviews from the first season. So if you have missed any of them, I invite you to check them out on beautysuperstars.com/podcast. And be sure to sign up with a pop-up so you won't miss a single episode going forward. And we usually have a monthly series, and this one is called Double Trouble. All of my guests over the next month or so, I guess you could say, are known for both their cutting and their coloring. And so we all know, if we're in the industry, that mastering either of them is no small feat. So we'll sit down and break down what it takes to win in both these areas. And so you are going to absolutely love my guest. My guest today has excelled in both cutting and coloring as a trichologist, former salon owner, and celebrity stylist, but he's traded it all in for a new career path as an influencer. And so he's going to share his incredible career and how he transitioned by combining his background and his passion for beauty, style, fashion, decor, and lifestyle. And it may be something that you want to consider as a next career move for yourself. And at the very least, I can assure you that if you are in need of a pick-me-up, you will leave this conversation feeling like you can do anything after you listen to Dr. Keith Harley. So I am excited to have him here today. And before we do a formal intro, I'd love to share with you his bio. So give me a chance here just to share this with you. So it's Dr. Keith Harley. He's a former trichologist, hair and scalp specialist, motivational speaker, author, entrepreneur, and trainer. Dr. Keith R. Harley Jr. brings more than 32 years of hair, scalp, and business leadership, product development, restoration, and maintenance innovation and education to clients and industry peers. With his foundational skills set in styling, hair and scalp, and cosmetology, Dr. Keith, or Dr. Harley, holds a doctorate of trichology from the National Institute of Cosmetology. Dr. Keith is the owner of Keith Harley Hair and Scalp Clinic in Virginia that specializes in the care of clients seeking assistance with hair and scalp disorders. With a team of stylists, Dr. Keith created a 25-year operation that is committed to the treatment of hair and disorders of the scalp. Each team member is dedicated to providing clients with styles and hair and scalp maintenance techniques that highlight their personal and professional lifestyles. His work in trichology has led to his work in industry-leading innovation with products such as advanced hair and scalp solutions with formula vitamins for healthy hair and scalp. Dr. Keith has worked with many clients as he assists in taking your brand to another level, whether it's in business or individually. He's worked with Eva Longoria, Michael Jackson, Deborah Lee, president of BET, and with the Obama administration, doing hair for the guests that attended the White House for special events, and many more. As the branding and business development for Dr. Gloria Mayfield Banks. And Dr. Keith assists Gloria with her style and has helped develop Gloria gowns, speaking attire, and image for the past 10 years. Keith and Gloria have developed a new online show called Secure the Bag. In February 2017, Dr. Keith launched Keith Harley Products. That consists of shampoos and conditioners for hair and scalp disorders for all hair types. He has a biotin shampoo, biotin conditioner, vitamins, therapeutic shampoo and conditioner, and a new product being released called the Argan Oil Reconstructive Mask for the hair. In addition to his entrepreneurial efforts, Dr. Keith is a community leader and mentor, serving on the boards of In Street Village, the Smithsonian, and volunteers as well. Dr. Keith is a respected international speaker, leader in the direct sales, and trainer on leadership and anti-aging, articulating his motivational approach to health, style, attitude, wellness in his upcoming release. And as of December 2019, Dr. Keith Harley closed his hair and scalp clinic and is pursuing his dream as a full-time lifestyle influencer, Step Up, to be published in 2021. And Keith started a new company called Keith Harley Collections and Life Brands. He speaks to youth, single mothers, and men on your present citation is not your final destination. So, wow.
Wow, when I listen to that stuff, I'm like, oh.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I feel so blessed to have known you for all these years, and really grateful that you're here to join us today and just share some of this wealth of knowledge that you have, and your generous spirit, your fabulous presence. So yeah, we are super excited that you're here. So
where do we begin, huh?
Where do we begin? Well, I would love to begin at the beginning. And so how did you even get into the beauty industry?
Oh gosh, this is really crazy. I actually wanted to get in the beauty industry when I was in high school, and I wanted to take it up as a trade in high school. They would not let me do it because my grades weren't good enough. Which was crazy. You had to have good grades to allow yourself to go into trade. I don't know if you remember hearing that. And my grades weren't great. My attendance wasn't that great. And they told me no. And so I started working as a shampoo person after school at different salons of my godfather. And what I was impressed with as a young guy is I used to watch him pull up in this Mercedes. And when he would walk into the door, people would just go crazy. They were like, oh, he's here. I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And that's how it all started. I started going to school, and I was an apprentice, and it went on from there. And that's how it was the inspiration of somebody else, watching them in the industry, that made me want to get involved.
Wow. Yeah, that's fabulous. And it really is so instrumental, that we're these role models and oftentimes don't even realize it. It's like, I don't know if your uncle, really realized the impact that his experience was having on you. So
absolutely. Back then, being a hairstylist was like being a celebrity. You remember? It was, you were one of them.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And I wanted to talk with you about, because I know, it's like you were in the DC area. I moved to the DC area because of all of the great things that were going on there. But I think you have deeper roots. And so, it's like, I know you went to Scanners, is that right? Which was owned by Liz Nolan.
Yep, so, I went to Scanners. And listen, I didn't have enough money to pay to go to Scanners. So I worked to earn my way through school.
Wow.
And I got the opportunity to work. I worked personally for Liz Nolan, who recently passed just earlier this year. That was an experience. And that's how, and I worked at Natural Motions on Georgia Avenue. When I think about this, because I haven't talked about this in a long time, this is so crazy, man, because I've had so many experiences. That's when I met Marion Barry. That's when I really started meeting the celebrities. And Miki, one thing you don't know, one day I was in Liz's office, and Jesse Jackson, because she was real close to Jesse Jackson and his wife, he came in one day, and I had the opportunity to meet him, and he loved my energy. And he stole me from Liz. And I worked for Jesse Jackson for 2 years at the Rainbow Coalition as his personal assistant traveling the world. It was crazy, crazy, crazy.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah, what an incredible experience.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Well, tell us, like, not everyone knows who Liz Nolan is, and not
Okay.
everyone knows the legacy of Natural Motion and
Yes.
what that meant to the Washington, D.C. area and the business she built, the legacy she left. Can you tell us or kind of help us to
Liz
see it?
Nolan was a staple in the beauty industry in the Washington metropolitan area. What made Liz always told the story of how Madam C.J. Walker inspired her to become this icon in the beauty industry. I remember the stories she used to tell me. And so she walked from, I think it was South Carolina to Washington, D.C. She started working in the hair industry, and then she became involved with Vidal Sassoon. I think it was Vidal Sassoon, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And what she said was when she had that experience, she wanted to bring that experience to the Black community because she felt like the Black community needed that level up in the beauty hair industry. And what she did was she literally duplicated what Vidal said. Do you remember this, Miki? She literally duplicated what he did. And she started doing haircuts and all sorts of things. And people started catching on. And then she birthed Natural Motions. Then she birthed Scanners. She got a business loan, an SBA business loan to open up Scanners right at 14th and F Street, Northwest downtown. And she just immediately blew up. And I mean, she was the staple piece in the hair industry. All the celebrities, government officials, Madam C.J. Walker, not Madam C.J., I'm sorry, Maxine Waters, all the top people started coming and flying in to go to that. That was the place to go.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I have been like kind of on the outside of some of that. It's like when I went to when I originally went to DC, it was to go to Howard. So I
yes.
But I was only there for like a semester.
Oh, gotcha.
So everyone who had money went to Natural Motion to get their hair done.
That's right.
I was a poor kid with when I was in college. I couldn't afford to go there, but
yeah, that's what she was charging over $100 for a haircut.
Yeah, and it was the spot, and the hair was fabulous that was coming out of it. Yeah,
absolutely,
no joke. And definitely, it's like I moved away, and then when I got into beauty, because I didn't even know I was going into the beauty industry, I came back, and she had already opened, or kind of just opened, I think, Scanners at that time. So Natural Motion was still blowing up, as well as Scanners, the school.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was huge. And then she opened up a second location, which was Natural Motions by Sandra. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
It was downtown. That was crazy. Oh, it was crazy. Just crazy.
Yeah. And you worked with Adine, which is another industry legend there.
That's another story. Adine, when I came back to work for Liz 2 years later, Adine came and she took me from Liz. That was crazy. I was still young, and when Adine found out how old I was, she fired me because I was too young to be working.
Oh, wow.
And she told me to come back when I was old enough to work. She wanted me to finish school. But that was the pivotal moment of my hair industry. Adine taught me everything I knew about, first of all, just having ethics, about having style, having a great brand, representing yourself. Adine she's the one that just changed my life. She exposed me to beyond Jesse Jackson. I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're really sharing like the importance of a mentor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She believed in grooming people to advance their world so that they had a stable life. And I was just talking about it last night. Her intent was to help you make your dreams come true so that her dreams could come true.
Absolutely. That, I think, it's like if we talk about salon ownership, I think that has to be the direction the motivation, the why that you do,
Yes,
why you do, if you're going to have a salon and if you're going to have team members, is that you have to connect what you want, your dreams and vision, to what their dreams and visions are, and help
absolutely.
them to achieve them.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to know what they want. And
Exactly.
hard
Exactly.
and train hard to help them get to that point,
Right.
because they will stay engaged, they will stay a part of your team, and they'll feel like they have something to work for.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well said. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, now we're definitely in a culture of more people coming out of school, kind of going right into salon suites, because
Yes.
it's like, I don't want to work for someone or work under someone, but it's more than, there's so much more that you gain from that mentorship relationship than, even the hair part. I mean, that's a great part to gain, but it's like, there's so much more.
Yeah, that's kind of why we kind of lost the industry a little bit, because people did not know they needed that, like you said, that mentorship. They don't
Mhm.
have that today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
It's
sure we'll
rare.
talk about that more later. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's rare. It's
yeah.
rare. So were there other people who influenced your career,
Oh
early on?
my God, yes. Shelton.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, it was so many. Ralph, I know you know Ralph.
Yeah.
That
Uh-huh.
was my boy. But they used to call Ralph my twin. I was his
Okay.
young twin because we looked so much alike. At
Okay.
that time, Ralph had hair down his back. That's my boy. Who else? So many. Oh my God, I could go on and on and on.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank because there's so many. But
Right,
that
right.
part of my life was just amazing, and the things that I saw. And then I had some things, that weren't so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I learned through the trials what was right and what was wrong, and
Mhm.
that was one of the things that I took away from it.
Yeah. Anything you can share? It's like, I mean, I think it's always helpful. We, see people at a certain level and it's like, oh, they had it easy, they.
Oh no, I was taken advantage of.
Mhm.
I worked for someone who literally used me to uh, have their life go to another level, and I didn't get paid. I was just there to assist them and to help their lives be comfortable. And then they would, embarrass me and talk
Mhm.
to me any kind of way. And that was a difficult time for me because, I had went through some things as a child. I was abused from the age of 3 till about 16.
Mhm.
So all that did was it put emphasis on my past. And
Mhm.
so I really, 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 after suffering during that moment of working with this person and how they treated me and took advantage of me, how I had to work on myself to
Mhm.
heal myself of my past so that I did not take that stuff with me. Because if I allowed all of those things to happen to me back then, if that took me to as I became older and as an adult, I really believe that that would have ruined my life.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I think that I appreciate you sharing, and
Yeah,
your transparency in it, because I think there's so many people who have gone through so many different things, and in a lot of ways that becomes the end of their story.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And to hear you, overcome and actually even being able to witness,
Yes,
oh, this is what's happening to me right now,
that's
and these are
right.
some of the things that may have,
And
about
what
that.
got me out of it to get help was that I was exposed to a different life.
Mm,
And when you see other people living differently and other people doing things differently and other people speaking positive and other people being healthy and other people being successful and other people really accomplishing their goals, and then you're over here dealing with some issues that you have not addressed yet, the
mhm.
exposure gives you an idea that there's something better beyond your present situation.
Yeah.
And so then you begin to seek out what is going to help you get to that point. And the first step is to address the issues so you no longer have to worry about those things anymore and you can clear out the space to receive your blessing.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's huge. I hope people will press replay on that part,
Yeah.
on what you just said, because
And
it's
they
really,
said,
really, it's really, really deep. and it is that clearing out that allows you to, like you say, receive your blessing. But also, I think when we don't clear it out, it's like that becomes what's driving the ship.
Yep.
And it's like we don't even realize, it's like, oh, we're steered over here. We thought we were going over here because it's like we got all this stuff we're taking with us.
Stuff. And you wonder why you're not expanding, or you're not elevating, or you're not leveling up, because you have not addressed the issues. And then some of us, because of the exposure that we had, we stay in that place and we live that way the rest of our lives, and we go to our grave without singing our song.
Yeah.
Because we don't know any better.
Right. Yeah. I think it was Iyanla who profoundly kind of said, like people like say in abusive relationships, they don't stay there because it's comfortable. They stay there because it's familiar. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And then they complain why they don't have anything different, but they think it's the norm.
Right. Absolutely.
And then the other part is, let's flip the script. Then we try to change people to be right for us rather than fix ourselves and attract what we deserve and what we desire.
Right.
That's another major problem. Stop trying to fix. They showed you who they were when you met them. So why do you keep trying to change somebody to be right for you when they're not right for you?
Right. In a lot of different instances. Yeah. Not just a, relationship, but also, your work relationships.
Yes.
And clientele relationships,
yes.
All of those things. Yeah.
Yes. And then it goes a level deeper. Well, you don't want to fix yourself and you'd rather fix somebody else because you're too afraid to address your own issues.
Oh yeah. It's scary.
It's scary. Take the Band-Aid off, heal the wound.
Yeah. But that Band-Aid, when you start pulling it off, it's like, oh, it's going to sting.
It stings. It stings. But the sting is only temporary.
Right.
And once you get beyond the pressure and the hurt and the pain, and then the second part is the loneliness, because what that is, the loneliness is prepping you for what you deserve and what you desire, but you got to be ready for it.
Right.
So it's almost forcing you to get to know who you are alone.
Mm-hmm.
It may last a week, it may last a month, it may last a year, but when you come out of it, you'll be okay with you.
Yeah. We were just talking in the training I do, the Luxury Hairstylist Blueprint. We were just talking about how, whenever you make a change, whenever you make a declaration, it's like, I am doing this way, it's like, and it could be as simple as, I'm going on a diet on Monday.
Yep.
And it's like Monday gets here, and sure as you're standing there, it's like there will be a test.
That's right.
It's like there will be pancakes on a plate with butter and syrup, and
oh Lord.
And are you going to do what you said you were going to do? The universe is like, let's see if they're really serious this time, or if they're just running their mouth.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it's so powerful. And one of the things that I've been seeing more and more, and I don't know if it's just I'm seeing it, if it's more of an issue, or if social media is just, bringing it more to my attention. But we've always had in the hair industry in particular, a confidence level challenge, where we don't come in with a lot of self-esteem a lot of times.
Mm-mm.
And what I'm seeing is, no boundaries with clients. It's like everybody's upset because, this happened and they're doing this and they're doing that. And, you go online and you rant and people are like, oh, wow, I can't believe your client did that. And, it's like, you should just fire her and this, that, and the other. And, but it's like a lot of the drama could have been resolved if you had some boundaries and some systems and some things in place, that the clients know this is how, we need to work this relationship around. And it's like, I just see, it's like an abundance of people, undercharging, discounting, and, kind of barely making it in the industry because of those things. And so how would you say to kind of look at that situation? It's like, if you're in a situation where you're, undercharging, where you're feeling like, you're ready to get out of the industry because it's like, oh, well, the clients don't show up and they're late and they're this and they're that. Any suggestions? And
Well, it's a couple of steps. One, get yourself together, because usually there's a level of insecurity and lack of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, teach people how to treat you. The reason why we don't set boundaries is because we're looking for husbands, wives, cousins, brothers, sisters. We're lonely. So you try to make your client your friend. They're not your friend, they're your client. Look up the definition of client, and look up the definition of family, and look up the definition of relatives. The client doesn't fit into those other two definitions, period. They are a client.
Right.
And if we get that down first, build your confidence, build yourself up, so you learn how to say no, you learn how to teach people to treat you, and you learn how to set the boundaries. Because what happens is, and listen, I'm being as authentic with you all as possible. I'm speaking to you from experience and not by what I've been taught. I was always broke when I didn't set boundaries. But when I built up my confidence from a level 1 to a level 10, and I did the inner work and thought of myself differently, that's when I was able to charge. That's when I was able to say no. That's when I was able to hold the client accountable to their appointment. That's when I was able to say, no, you can't get this. No, you can't get that. I'm the professional. That's what I've been to school for. That's what I've trained for. Right. So you've come to me for my expertise, not my friendship, not being your brother or your sister. None of those things. You came to me for a service because you are now a client. Set the expectations and set the boundaries, and you won't have the problem with being broke, disrespected, talked to a certain way, used as an option. Here's the other part. You're an option. You're not a necessity.
Ooh.
So I learned this the hard way. And here's the other part. The client is so comfortable, they'll tell you you're an option. I don't have to come here. I don't have to be here. I don't know. And then you sitting there waiting for them to show up. And if they 2 hours later, you're going to take them anyway because you need the money, because you're broke. And you're broke because you didn't set boundaries. You're broke because you have lack of self-esteem. You're broke because you have lack of confidence. You're broke because you're not willing to, it goes back to the beginning of this conversation. You're not willing to fix yourself to make people understand. Put it this way. I got it for you. Take yourself off the sale rack and put yourself back in the glass case.
Ooh. I love it.
Usually you got to work to get in a glass case. That's why I talk about teach people how to treat you. Now, Miki, I'll be honest with you. It took me a long time to figure out this, but the red flags were, why weren't the relationships working? Why weren't the clients working? Why was I always broke? And I kept blaming everybody else rather than taking responsibility for me. It was always somebody else. It was always something somebody did to me. It was always something. No. They showed me who they were in the beginning when they got there. Relationships, business relationships, everything. It's all the same.
Right.
Fix your mess so you can stop settling for what is not of you. Stop being broke. Stop cutting back. Here's the other thing I learned this weekend. Stop cutting back. Everybody seems to think in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a hard time, we got to stop, go on a budget, stop spending, tell people we ain't got no money and we broke. No, what you do is you increase. If you're walking in fear, that means you're not working hard enough. If you're insecure or you're having problems with clients, it means you're not working hard enough. And that's why you stay in the pity party. And mind you, the pity party is the most expensive party to have. You choose to stay there because that's what's comfortable for you.
Yeah. So when you say work hard, I want to define that because I've been I consider myself, I guess you could say, a recovering workaholic.
That's right. That's right. We
So
all are.
when I hear work hard, I mean, that sounds like, okay, go out there and do more and
Right.
do more and,
Right.
all of this kind of stuff. And my position is like kind of anti that right now.
Right.
So what do
Because
you mean
you
when
paid
you
your
say work hard?
Because you paid your dues.
Mm-hmm.
You work hard.
Even for people earlier in their career, I want to set them up to work differently, to work
Yeah, work
smarter.
smart.
Yeah.
Work
And so
smart.
when you say work hard, tell me what you mean. Tell us what
When I say work hard, if I don't want you to work yourself into oblivion and then when you walk out, you're a puff of smoke. I'm talking about run your business. If you feel that you can increase your clientele, get help.
Mm-hmm.
Get an assistant to help you. If you want to make it an experience for your client, manage your time, charge correctly. Don't work yourself until you can't walk or you burnt out.
Right.
But work it smart and not hard. And the flux will come to you. Mm-hmm. So just be mindful of time management and help. Help is important. Mm-hmm. And pay your help. Pay them good money, because if you don't, they will become disengaged and they'll walk away from you. So pay your help, work smart, not hard. But if you got time to walk in fear and you got time to be afraid and you got time to worry about your bills and how you broke or you worried about other situations, it means you got too much time in your hand. That means you need to get to work.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. One of the things I saw during the pandemic was that people posting that they were bored. And I was like, how in the world are you bored? I have like 8 projects going on. I'm trying to help people over here and doing this. And it's like, wow, this is crazy. Like, how do you even say you're broke? I mean, not broke, but bored. It's like,
but they were broke too.
Right.
Just keeping it real. It's I kind of laugh about it because we talked about this weekend. I said last night, you got to figure out how in the midst of the pandemic and you're getting PP something loan, PP, I don't even know what it is because I didn't even do it. The PPO loan, is it PPO?
PPP.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And then, you got, the unemployment. Some people were making more money in unemployment than they did on a weekly basis. That's why people don't want to go to work. And one of the things that we said was, that is the time that you elevate. While you're getting this help and this assistance, that is the time you find out what it's exactly you need to do to make sure you don't be in this predicament again.
Right.
There are some people that don't want to go back to work because they're comfortable with the unemployment they get. Those are the people that I choose not to be around.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you want to just live off unemployment and you're looking for the easy way out and you're not using this time for this money that they're giving you to stabilize yourself and keep your bills paid, and you're not using this time to elevate, that means you have that broke mentality.
Right.
And I don't want to be around that. So people that would call me and say, I'm at home and I'm just, I'm getting this check. Some people's getting $600, $700, $900 a week, Miki. Right. And they thought the day was high off the hall.
Okay.
That ain't even enough for gas money for me.
Okay. I feel you.
I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
So, I tell people all the time, if you talk that way, we don't have any conversation. Now, if you tell me that you're using that to help you elevate, right, then we can have a conversation. But other than that, I have nothing to say to you.
Okay. Yeah. And the beauty of all that is that there was so much education and so much training that was available either for free or for little or nothing during that time.
Crazy.
Yeah. No need to be bored.
Nope.
But tell us, it's like you've had such, a great career in terms of the beauty industry. You're a salon owner, trichologist, celebrity hairstylist, with, I guess going into BET. It's like you had a relationship with BET and all of that. Yeah. What that looks like. I mean, people like the fun stuff or what have you.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so Deborah Lee. Well, let me take that back. Jackie Coleman, who was a friend of mine. She was coming to me get her hair done, and she was a receptionist at BET at that time. And Deborah Lee's hairstylist, she didn't have one and she needed one. And so they reached out to me to do her hair, and I started doing her hair. And that was before she became president, CEO. Well, she was she was an attorney at that time for BET.
Okay.
And so started working for her personally. And then when Bob Johnson sold the company, she became the CEO and chairman and president of BET with Viacom.
Okay.
And then that's when things really began to explode. We were traveling around the world. I experienced the first BET Awards, which was at the Paris and Las Vegas, which was absolutely incredible. And just to see where it is now is just crazy. Then I started working with different celebrities. But one of the things that I learned, Miki, dealing with these celebrities is that they all pee and bleed just like you do. People want to have the celebrity clientele, but the foundation of your clientele is the everyday woman, the janitor, the attorney, the school teacher. Those are the ones who kept the bills paid.
Right.
You know, when you're dealing with the celebrities and stuff, they feel like they ain't got to pay you because they feel like their pay is you being with them. And the level of respect that I got based on, you know, dealing with them, 9 times out of 10, it was always a great experience, but it wasn't always good.
Right.
So stop thinking that being the celebrity hairstylist is the way to go. It is the way to go. It's a great experience, but it's hard work. You got to take the good and the bad. You got to stay neutral. You can't let it personally affect you emotionally. It's hard. People will fire you just for the way you pee. For no reason. They just wake up one day and say, I don't like you no more. You got to go.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you shared a low point in your career. It's like, is there like a highlight that feels like, wow, it's like that?
I made it.
You made it, or it was just like super special?
Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow. Okay. So tell me about Michael Jackson.
I worked with Adine. Adine actually facilitated this, and she had a business partner. Her name was Ramon Bain. Mm-hmm. And one day they called me and said, Keith, we need your help. Michael Jackson is moving to DC. A lot of people did not know Michael Jackson lived in DC for 8 months and nobody knew it.
Okay.
And I said, wait, what? They said, we need you to come and work with us because he's flying here. We need you to assist him and so on. I said, y'all playing. Y'all, not Michael Jackson. Nah, really? So I had the opportunity to meet him with Deborah. Deborah had a party at her house, Deborah Lee, president of BET, and I met him there. He was really, really cool there. And then he got the Walk of Fame BET award, and I met him there, and that was okay. But then to actually be in his personal space and to hear him say, Keith, I'm like, and it hit me one day when we were in the elevator, Miki, and I was looking at him, and I said, this is Michael Jackson. So I started getting weak in the knees a little bit. You know what I mean? I started getting starstruck. I was like,
right.
This is Mike. And I looked at him. I said, that's Mike. And I had already been working for him for about a month.
Okay.
It hit me. And so I said, okay, I get it. And at that moment, I said, you know what? You can't get any better than this. Because this was a genius. This was a man that was a hard worker. He was one of the kindest people, but he was a genius. He was a world, not a United States. This was a world. He had more power than the president, just on his presence. And to have that experience was at the highlight of my career. And to see the behind the scenes on how hard he worked, his work ethic.
Right.
And a lot of other stuff, of course, but most importantly, that when he saw, when he came to DC and he saw lightning bugs for the first time. Remember lightning bugs?
Yeah.
He was with his 2 kids and he got all excited and he was like, oh, lightning bugs. And he ran in the house and got little glass jars to put the lightning bugs in. This is Michael Jackson. He never seen lightning bugs before.
Okay.
So yeah, that was pretty much the highlight of my career.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's quite a highlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite a highlight. And yes, it's like there's, like you say, so much to take away from him as a person and,
Yeah.
as an artist, of course. And
Yeah. If my takeaway from him is hard work.
yeah.
If you want something, be the best at it. And don't stop until you got it down. Be the best at it. Work, study. In the midst of this pandemic, y'all, while it's slow, study.
Right.
Take some of Miki's classes. Ask her for help. Study. Be so good that they can't deny you.
Right.
Be so good that the competitors don't even matter because you have your own lane on the highway.
Okay. Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah. And you started out with "Don't Stop," and it's like, I can't get out, don't stop till you get enough.
Don't stop till you get enough, because I'm bad.
Yeah, well, that is definitely quite a highlight. So that is, yeah, just great. And so you've done all these things in the industry, and it's like, and you have elevated the industry, in my opinion.
Oh, thank you.
And what made you just say, like, okay, this is it, I'm going off in a different direction? And I know there's some people out there that are like thinking, like, maybe I am going to go in a different direction. Maybe it's time to make some different changes.
After 33 years in the business, my arm started hurting. One day, I don't know if you experienced this, Miki, before, but my arm started locking. And it was the most painful thing I had ever experienced. Then my knees started hurting. I said, now I'm either getting old or my body has been worn down. And then what was the cherry on top of the cake was I wasn't excited to pull my head off the pillow anymore. And that's when I realized I had done enough, that this is no longer exciting me. I've mastered it. It's been fun. The industry took a shift, and that's another conversation for another day. The shift part really did it for me when other people from other countries just came in and demolished our industry. And it was difficult. You don't hear about hairstylists becoming millionaires anymore, do you?
Not really. No.
You don't hear about salon owners becoming millionaires anymore, do you?
Not really.
But what we hear is other nationalities coming into our country and into our communities and into our streets that have stripped us of everything that we have. Now, I think we've always been told this was the land of opportunity. And we've allowed people to come into and this is why other industries don't want to work with us, because we've allowed that to happen within our own industry. You know that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like out there by ourselves, pulling at strings, trying to stay afloat. And I got tired. I got tired, and I said, okay, I've done what I'm supposed to do. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old. Enough is enough. Now, what can I do? And I said, I need to teach what I've experienced over my years. And I said, well, how can I do that? I want to influence people that where you are, you don't have to stay, and how you can make every day an experience, whether it's through fashion, beauty, grooming, decor, food, travel. I want to show people that where you are is not where you have to stay. If you choose that you want to do something, make it an experience, no matter how much it costs. This is what we don't know how to do. So I said, I want to become a lifestyle influencer. So I started doing my studying. And at first they said, Keith, you need to blog. Well, when you see blogs, I'm just be very honest. I'm not trying to offend anybody, okay? But when you see blogs, you see 20-something-year-old white girls, right?
Yep.
That's all you see. Or these little young kids. And when are you going to ever see a 53-year-old influencer? So I said to myself, well, that's it. You will now.
Okay. Or you say hello.
Hello. Because we have disposable income at our ages. We have, those that have done the work. We play a major part when it comes to trends. Mm-hmm. We are the forgotten numbers. Mm. So how about you look at what we're interested in, and let me share with you how you can make the second part of your life the best part of your life, or in the midst of the life that you're living, it can be incredible, and you can make every day an experience that you wake up. Let me show you how.
Nice. I like that. I'm in. It's like, okay.
Exactly. People don't think that they can wake up in the morning and be happy. People don't think that they can wake up in the morning with great energy. People focus on the problems that they have rather than experiencing life. And like I said in the beginning of this conversation, if you wake up thinking about your problems, it means you're not what? Busy enough.
Right. Yep.
Because if you're busy, you incorporate increase. And when you have increase, your problems are solved.
Okay. Yep. Wisdom speaking over there. So I recently attended a virtual class, and one of the people, and I want to credit him. I believe he works with Jean Juarez Salons, but I don't remember his name. But I think he was saying, or ending the presentation by saying, it's like hairstylists were the original influencers before the word came along.
That's right.
And so how do you pair up, what we see today and actually define influencer for us? Like, what does that mean?
An influencer is someone that shows you the way beyond your present situation, shows you new things, exposes you to a different aspect of your life. So, for instance, have you ever been to Dubai?
No, I have not.
But you want to go? No, not yet? Okay. Maybe one day. Well, let's just use
maybe one day.
So what we do is we expose you to that and what you see what it's about. So maybe if I exposed you to Dubai and you see how fabulous and an experience that it is, maybe you'll consider it. Right. Or a restaurant.
Yes.
Or, a lot of people, I get on people all the time about being label people, where they go to Gucci or Louis Vuitton and they think that that's the best thing to buy to make them complete, or how people perceive them. Well, how about if I take you to Target? Or how about if I take you to Walmart?
Okay.
Or how about if I take you to Costco? Let me show you how you can still look your best and it be affordable. I call it affordable luxury.
Nice. Love it. Yep, I absolutely love it. And so what's the response been? I mean, it seems like, you came in, you've been on fire ever since. And so
I've been running. It's been crazy. The response has been overwhelming. The support has been incredible. The people didn't even know what an influencer is.
Right.
They were like, what is that? And once they get an idea of what it is, the support has just been crazy, Miki. This is the best thing. I wake up every day running. I'll be very honest with you. And I ran like I did when I was a hairstylist, when I first started doing hair. I think I told you the story before. When I first started doing hair, and I was working in Adine's salon downtown, I used to get up at 4:30 a.m. every morning to go down to Metro Center to make sure that I got the group of people who were going to work from 5:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. I passed flyers out every day standing at the Metro stop. Because I couldn't get referrals. Nobody knew who I was. And I did this until I had a waiting list, a flux of clients that I had a waiting list. And it happened within 2 weeks. Adine will tell you the story. It happened in 2 weeks. I had a waiting list of people wanting to see me.
Okay.
And it was because I was intentional. And so the same thing with this. I go hard. What people see on social media, I'm up every morning early with my dogs. We running. We're making it happen, and it's because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and it's incredible.
I love it. Yeah, yeah. And you partnered with, or I don't know what the terms are. You can tell me.
Mhm.
With I think Target, and
Yep.
what other brands are you working with?
I became an affiliate. I signed a contract with Target, Walmart, Nordstrom's, Costco, Amazon. That took forever. They finally approved me. They gave me my own show called Amazon Prime Live with Keith Harley.
Oh wow!
It's
Yay!
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So that's just to name a few. We got some stuff coming that's going to be crazy that I can't talk about yet.
Right.
I signed a big deal. I don't know if you've seen the ad running all over the world with Okcha, the fragrance company.
Oh
Uh,
no.
that's crazy. They're based
Okay.
out of Canada. It's been, it's been a blessing. It really, really has.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Big time stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So tell us about the Keith Harley collection.
So Keith Harley Collection is a affordable luxury line for men and women that is upscale clothing for people who don't want to spend a lot on clothing and still look their best.
Okay.
And I went to a conference in Las Vegas, and I met with some designers, and went to another conference in New York and signed some deals with them. And we created a line for women and men, and we've been rolling ever since.
Okay. So where can people find it?
They can go to keithharleycollection.com.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. It's like I'm so excited for you and all the things that you're doing. And like you're on social media. It's like you're doing influence. We've been talking about all kinds of different things. I just want to throw this in here. A little while back, Monique, the comedian Monique,
Yep.
came out and had a conversation, with our young ladies, about wearing the bonnets out in public in the airports and etc. And just really wanting to, the sense I got anyway was wanting to fill them with, a sense of pride and a sense of, take, how you appear, seriously as you go out into the world and what have you. What are your, kind of thoughts, because you are influencing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, in various age ranges.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your thoughts with that
A
conversation?
lot of people, I gave a response on TikTok because so many people were reaching out to me to ask me what was my opinion about it. And
Hmm.
my opinion was finally someone said something.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I told people to go back into the 40s and the 50s. And back then, Miki, people didn't even see people. The only time we wore jeans was in the fields. Overalls and jeans was when we were picking cotton.
Right.
And then you saw men that got up with a pair, and they would walk out of the house with a top hat, a dress shirt, a pair of slacks, and some nice shoes. We didn't wear titty shoes back then. I wasn't living then, but I'm just saying,
Hmm. Right.
community, that's not what we did. If our ancestors saw us today walking in airports, I see it to this day, with pajamas, slippers, and bonnets, they would probably croak over with shock.
Before they right after they backhanded you. It's like-
Right after they backhanded you with a switch. And I got I'm gonna tell you, I got a lot of flack. A lot of people were like, how dare you judge? How dare you this? They're just being, no. Somebody got to tell you. Uncle Keith got to tell you. I got to tell you. Auntie Monique, Auntie Miki got to tell you. The reason why is because you're giving people ammunition to not like us. They don't like us anyway.
Okay.
They don't like us anyway. Why are you giving them why are you giving them more ammunition to really not like us? And then to back it up with your vile attitude and your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the direction that we need. Everybody can't be a rapper. Everybody can't walk around with their pants hanging down to their kneecaps. Not everybody can walk around in a nightgown with no bra and a bonnet. This is what I see in the airports. And I'm like, this is unreal. And this is why we have the problems that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Because they put us in a category.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's what they think about us.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we think about ourselves.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think that for me, I guess, is kind of the part that's like, wow, like if we really felt like we were queens
And kings.
and kings, how would we dress? How would we carry ourselves?
You go over in Africa, girl, we don't do that. They don't do that. You hear, I don't know where they got it from. I don't even know how it happened. I don't even know where it stems from.
Okay.
Trend, if you will.
Yeah.
I do know where the men with their pants hanging down off their butt, that came from jail. And if you knew what the definition of what it meant in jail, you would stop.
Okay.
Now the bonnet thing, I don't know where that came from. I see people in the grocery stores, in the malls,
Right.
and I'm like, well, what did you get your hair done for? You only going to wear it when you go to the club? You're only going to wear your hair, so you're going to wear the bonnet all day long. Make sure your edges are flat. Make sure your lace wig is locked down to go to the club, but you don't want to present yourself. Now, here's the other part, Miki. Then you put this stuff on social media. Every employee that I have with my company, the first thing I look is their social media. And you think that you can put your account private or you can delete it. We can still see it. As long as I Google you, I can see everything that you do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So what are you saying? What does your future look like?
Right. Right.
Are you still going to stand? And here's the other part. That's why I became an influencer. Because your exposure, that's what allowed you to do it. You think it's okay because you don't have any other exposure. And then when you do have other exposure, people try to remind you of who you used to be because that's what's comfortable for them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to change. So they don't want to see you change.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then when you can't find a job and you go through problems of trying to get new relationships to network and elevate your life, and you wonder why you can't, it's because what you're putting out there, and then what do you result to? Public assistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Criminals,
right?
Because you have no other way to live. How are you going to survive?
Right. Yeah, and then it's someone else's fault.
It's somebody else's fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. And it's like
I'm always going to receive flat back for it, but it's all right. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like the thing that just kind of was like my first thought, maybe my second thought, because my first thought was, it's like, yeah, somebody said something. This is
right.
Good.
Yep.
But my second thought was, it's like the basics, the very basics growing up were get up, wash up, get dressed. It's like,
be
and I'm
ready
like,
so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, you just do that every single day. So
right.
Like, how has that changed, so quickly? And
not only that, before the bonnet started, if you remember walking around, you would see people walk around in pajama slippers, a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they got out of bed
and
just went on with their day.
Right. Get up, wash up, get dressed.
And guys, whoever's looking at this interview, let me just say this to you. I am not judging you. That is not what I'm doing. I am not hounding you for the way that you have made your decisions to present yourself in that way. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm telling you is there is another side to life. There is another way of life to live. And the first thing is your personal brand. Now, I know you think to yourself, well, I shouldn't worry about what other people think. Some instances you're correct. And in some other instances, you're wrong. Because you present yourself based on where you want to go. And if you're happy with where you are, then fine. But if you want to take it to another level, take some pride in how you present yourself in public. Take some pride in how you present yourself on social media. Take some pride in how you treat others. It makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, beautifully said. And because the intent is not to judge, but not to allow you to falter.
Right.
And, not recognize and realize your potential.
That's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Because there's so much more that we can be sharing and giving to the world, and how we present ourselves does matter, which is why there's even a beauty industry.
Right. And it's showing your bonnet and a pair of drawers.
Okay.
Because I don't want to see either one.
Okay. Well, you say no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Well, you mentioned the words personal brand. So talk to us about, like, what is a personal brand? What is branding? What is marketing? How should we as beauty, it's like if we are in the beauty industry as beauty professionals, if we're on the, edges or thinking about, the beauty industry as maybe a career, or maybe we're just kind of in that entrepreneurial space and like beauty as well, and you're watching, what can you share with us that would be helpful, around personal branding, marketing?
Yeah. Your image is your passport to success.
Okay.
So your personal brand and your business brand. It goes back to what we were just talking about. How you present it is how people will perceive it. And that's how they'll make the decision whether they want to be serviced by you, be in your inner circle, or even be affiliated with you based on your image. Your image is your brand. And so as you all grow in the industry or grow in any business, take a look at your brand, your personal brand first, and then your business brand first. Look in the mirror. This is the question that you ask yourself. Would I do business with me? If I were to look myself in the mirror and I look at my business and I look at the way that I service my clients, would I do business with me? Do a checkup from the bottom to the top, from the in to the out. Do a checkup. That's your brand. That's your business brand. If you decided to go to your salon or your business, would you want to go there based on the way that you're presenting that to your customers? And be real with it.
Right.
Don't just sit up there and say, yeah, I'll go to my No. Be real. Yeah. Look at the way you clean the bathroom. Look at the way you handle your utensils when you're working with your client. Look at the way you talk to your client. Look at the way how you wake up every day and you're late. Look at all of the things that you do and how you're presenting them to them. What if the shoe was on the other foot? That's your brand. That's the marketing part. Then when you got that down and you fix all the good stuff, then you begin to push it out and let them know what you're about. Use social media, use Instagram, use Facebook, use Twitter, use LinkedIn. There's so many platforms that you can introduce yourself. And as you do that, that's when you become confident to attract what you deserve and what you desire personally and in business. It all comes together. Yeah.
Wow. I hope some pens and papers were out, or some tablets. It's like that was definitely noteworthy. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And yeah, it's like this has been absolutely amazing. What's next for Keith Harley?
Ooh. I'm hitting the stage.
Okay.
I'm hitting the stage. I'm going to do more speaking, expanding my business. We're starting a virtual styling team where our stylists will be able to meet with people virtually to help them with their wardrobe, their image, and their branding. But most importantly, I'm excited about hitting the stage. I'm excited to share my experiences and change lives because it's time. You know, my book is coming out, Step Up, pretty soon. It's just, it's time. It's time to get on the road and get in people's spaces.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we can't wait to see you in person.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun.
Color. Yes.
Just be prepared for the awakening.
Oh, yes. If you couldn't tell from today's interview.
Right. Be prepared.
Yeah. Well, one thing is I just launched, I've been doing a webinar called Level Up, and it's on salon pricing strategies for dope hairstylists. And I, introduced the Luxury Hairstylist Blueprint, where I'm helping stylists to be able to really elevate their prices as well as elevate their, their income, I guess you could say, elevate their income as well as the client experience in 6 weeks. And so, you have lived that luxury hairstylist.
Yeah.
And it's not about, the things that people think it's about, dressing a certain way and wearing red bottoms and driving this and all of those kind of things.
No.
So talk to us about, what your experience is or any tips. And I know you've already shared some, throughout, but what is that? What does that mean to you?
Service, service,
Mm-hmm.
service, service, service. You're not more important than the client.
Right.
And I think we think that we're important and the client doesn't matter and they should be honored to see us. That's wrong. Totally wrong. Become the best that you can be so that when the client comes to you, you are in service mode. You're not entitled. They have a lot of options.
Absolutely.
And if you're not servicing the client well, you can just be a figure of their imagination and you can be what we call history.
Well said. Yes. Yeah. Well, definitely. And if you can, I think one of the things throughout my career that I've seen and experienced, and having a team and having a team that's mostly Black or African American, is that many times it feels like we get the words service and servant confused. Can you share, what you see as the difference? Like, oh, I don't want to do that because it's like that's like
right
beneath me in a sense, or bowing down, or it's like I don't want to feel like I'm in that
place
space. Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not a servant.
Mm-hmm.
You went to school or you got training to be a hairstylist or trichologist or colorist or whatever the case may be. So be honest with you, it's like going to a doctor. And there are a code of ethics and you have to abide by those ethics. And that means you don't go past the client provider threshold, and you need to figure out what that is. And then secondly, you need to act accordingly to the principles of and it talks about that in your studies and in your books. It tells you what you're supposed to talk about, what you're supposed to go. I always used to speak on this. Go back to the basics.
Absolutely.
And when you go back to the basics and you realize that it's about service, not being a servant, but service. And if you do that right, you won't have any issues. You'll be respected. You won't have to discount your prices. You won't have to beg for people to come through the door because you will attract that. And you think of yourself more. The other problem is we don't think of ourselves more. And be presentable.
We're in the beauty industry.
We're in the beauty industry. I've gone to salons recently, and the hairstylist is sitting up there with rollers in her hair doing the client's hair. That's the servant.
Okay.
So
you broke
all
it
I can just
before.
tell you is service, 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 service. Master the service. Abide by the principles. Abide by the ethics. And if you don't know what they are, look them up. And then once you do that, you will know the difference between serving and being a servant.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And talk to us about, like who influences you? Who are the folks that you're like, they're pulling you forward?
Oh, God. There's a guy, Grant Cardone. He has a book out called 10X. He has another book out called Obsession. And his wife, Elena Cardone, has a book out called Building Your Empire. I get influence from everybody, young kids, older people. I'm always, one of the things I said, Miki, when I changed my career, I'm going to honor my relationships and friendships that I have, and I'm going to create new ones. And the reason why I'm doing that is because who I have around me is who influences me. You got what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
they make me who I am. You become like the 5 people you hang with the most. If they broke, you broke. If they ugly, all of the things that where you live, what you do, how you do it is an influence of what you're hanging around. So that's what inspired me. The people that I have around in my inner circle. And I make sure, and we make sure that we level up. It doesn't have to be a celebrity or somebody, I don't need that. I just need the people in my core group to make sure all of us are leveling up, having, productive conversations. What are we going to do next? Not settling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be an old 53-year-old. I'm going to still drop it like it's hot.
Okay.
So I don't want to be around no old 53-year-olds either.
Okay, right.
So that's it. That's what inspires me. That's who inspires me.
Awesome. And best advice you received?
Oh my God. Best advice I received just recently, I had an aha moment. When and I think I said it earlier, when you live in fear and you wake up every morning thinking about you're broke and you can't pay your bills, and you're in a relationship that you're unhappy with, when you settle, when you're in pain and you're mentally in pain, it's because you're not busy enough. When you get busy in fixing that stuff and you get busy on the increase, everything, I promise you, everything will fix itself. Walk away from what no longer serves you. You'll be happier that you left and be unhappy that you stayed. But you're so afraid to be alone. You're scared of what you're going to see while you're alone. So you'd rather stay what's no longer serving you and stay with things that don't inspire you to move forward, because that's what's comfortable. You're scared.
Wow.
Get busy.
Okay.
Get busy.
Well, I think that's a great note to end on. So thank you so much. It's like, that is wonderful.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so glad you joined me today. And where can we find you, follow you? It's like, I know you're everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I do the TikTok dances. I just did one the other night. Lord Jesus. Snapchat, LinkedIn. I'm on all the platforms.
Okay.
So
and it's all
Keith Harley. You can find me.
Okay. I'm just going to put this across here. It's like at Keith Harley. Oh, it's not showing. Wait a second. There we go.
Yep.
Keith Harley everywhere. So
everywhere.
Yep. So follow him. And like you said, the collection is at keithharleycollection.com. Is that
yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Okay. Great. Perfect. And so I want to thank you guys for being here. It's like for, taking time out of your schedule to join us. It's like, I hope this has been as impactful for you as it has for me. It's like, I've definitely enjoyed it. As I mentioned before, it's like, if you have missed any of the interviews that we've done on Beauty Superstars Talk, to be sure to go to beautysuperstars.com/podcast, and you can catch all of them, and you can also sign up, so we'll notify you as these come out. And so it's each Tuesday at 10 a.m. And it's like, want to thank our sponsor again, Black Beauty Expo. And if you want to partner with us, it's like, just visit beautysuperstars.com, and there's a big red button, and it'll take you to a page where you can work with us, become a partner, or what have you. And if you are a stylist and you know that you are talented, but when people question your prices, you get all wheezy. And you they tell you charge too much, and you're wondering, do I charge too much? And you go on Facebook to see if you do. You're secretly wondering if you're really worth it. I want to invite you for a free webinar, which is called Level Up. I want to help you to level up, and it's pricing strategies for dope hairstylists, and it's to help you use the strategies that top hairstylists are using to attract ideal clients, increase their income. And this is even if you're scared your clients are going to leave if you raise your prices. So you can go to beautysuperstars.com/level up and join our next class. It's like going to be amazing. It's like every time, I've done it a few times now, and it's like the aha moments are unbelievable, and people are just leaving like, wow, this is like, I never knew this. I never thought of it this way. And it's changing lives, and people are doubling and tripling their income. So it's like I'm wanting to help, because it's in the mind. Most of it's in the mind, not so much in the activity. So join us at beautysuperstars.com, level up. And again, the Black Beauty Expo will be coming up. October 10th will be the next one in Richmond, Virginia. So we hope to see you there. Visit blackbeautyexpo.com or follow them on Instagram with Black Beauty Expo. So I will look forward to seeing you guys next time, where we'll take you backstage with more experts in beauty. So take great care and see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome, dear. Anytime.